Who do you want to go?
Boom.
Attack.
Hello, hello. I'm going to give it a second for it to give the little notice that we are live because I don't know for sure if it registers prior to that or not. All right. Hopefully that notice will go out. Oh, I think it just did, so we should be live. For anyone who has been anxiously awaiting our arrival, thank you for your patience. We are struggling with some technical difficulties with our new setup, getting everything set up. But I think we are about there. Let's see. I'm trying to get one more thing situated. My apologies. I guess we could take a minute, and as long as we are actually live and rolling, might as well take a minute and just sort of introduce ourselves and what the heck we are doing, um, because it's a little weird. It's a little different. All right, here we go. I think I'm situated finally. I think we're live. We are good. Hopefully, everything's up and rolling. Hello, folks. We see you out there, and hopefully, we'll get some more strolling in. But what we're doing tonight is a game jelly. Not your
Game
tip. That's
Jelly.
right. Not your typical
Jelly.
game jam. I
Nice.
want.
Like
My name's
chutney.
yeah. My name's Vale, and I basically do game design and programming. And I'll throw it over here to my right. Ludum, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi. Game developer. More 3D developer slash game designer as well. A little bit of everything.
Right on.
And then I guess we'll go down to Travis.
Hello. Travis Baranow, music composer. Just simply working on the music.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Flower. I'm a 3D modeler. I'm a story writer. I'm currently working on a project called Prophecy, and this is my new awesome side gig working on this game jelly with everybody, having fun,
Nice.
Very
excited.
cool. Well, thank you guys
Yes.
all for joining us. And I will point out that if you want to check out Ludum or Attack the Dawn's streams, since they're here on this stream, they're not on theirs at the moment, but you can check out their streams by looking at my suggested streams on our page, and you'll see both of them there as I believe the first two options. So, yeah, you can check them out and follow
Show us
them
some
as
love.
well.
Show
That's
us some
right.
love.
Send them some follows. All right, so guys, what we're doing, we are gonna create a game to play here on this channel, and we've talked a little bit about idea and concept, but we're probably going to need to discuss it a little bit, come up with a couple of game plans, but so to speak, and make sure we're all on the same page as far as who is doing what, and then we can just dive in and start going. So, I didn't queue up any like mood board stuff to share, but the main concept for our game idea, and we are open to ideas. It is a rough idea at this stage, but our concept here, in a general sense, is to map. Oh, hey, thank you so much, Manny Vibes, for the follow. Appreciate that.
Oh,
Um,
Many
Manny.
yeah.
What's up?
vibes.
Uh, what our concept is to kind of combine and mash together like a marble race with a pinball game with Mario Kart, and kind of put some elements from all three of those things together to be able to create a new game that is going to be available right here for you guys to play within the channel. And it'll make a little more sense as we move forward, maybe with it, because it has to be something you guys can participate in, like through chat and so forth. So It won't be like a, that's why you get the marble race element where you're sort of watching what's happening, but you'll also be able to use abilities and stuff to type in chat. I don't know. I'm just rambling. So if you guys want to chime in on anything here at any point, feel free, because I don't know. I don't want to talk the whole time. I want to just
You're
but
so
also
you're so good at it.
I also don't want to leave everybody hanging as to what in the world we're doing, include especially us. We need to know what we're doing for sure. So
Well, I mean, I think that's a good segue to go into what it's something that I mean, I'm an artist, so of course I'm going to say what is the aesthetic? What type of game is it? 2D, 3D? I mean, we already kind of discussed a little bit. You showed us a video of like the marbles and stuff, and you mentioned I want to do something like this. So I kind of have like a rough visual in my head of what you want it to look like aesthetically. So we're going with 3D, right? Do you have any
yeah,
reference photos?
yeah, 3D. Yeah, let me see if I can pull something up here.
And I know we
3D.
Um,
talked about doing potentially different themes and stuff, but if we're gonna
yeah.
do like a main, or at least like focus on one theme
Mm-hmm.
or one thing first, or I don't know.
So yeah, and that brings up an interesting point of something that we do need to kind of figure out. Um, and that is, first of all, I should thank my mod. Appreciate the mod. Everybody give a little mod love there for holding off on our ad
Woo!
break. Not running,
Woohoo!
not running
Way to
ads
go.
over the top of that. So thank you
Nice.
for
Very
doing that.
nice.
Oh, my bad. We're in an ad group. I thought she jumped in there. My bad. It's actually running
Oh,
now.
oh well.
It's all good
Hey,
still.
still, great job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Woo!
for sure
Shout out to the
still.
mod.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's all good. All right, let me see if I can pull up um, something here to play visually. But something else that we're going to need to kind of determine, and we don't have. Let's see. Play later. I've got a bunch of examples and stuff, but here's one in particular.
U.S. Legal
There's,
Forms has been
oops, let me
providing
mute
legal
that.
documents to individual consumers.
Okay, we don't need all that. Okay, so like, there's a whole bunch of different ones online that people have done, and I love what these guys have done. Shout out to More Balls. That's who we're looking at the moment. It is one example of what we're talking about.
I couldn't not laugh. I mean, sorry,
Yeah,
I'm 5 years
I was
And
old.
laughing too.
right, but yeah, a 3D environment that allows you to have cool cinematographics, cameras that follow. And I know I'm in the way here a little bit of this demo, but hopefully you can still see some of this. I think, oh, we're zoomed up on it. That's the problem. Let me fix that. There you
Yeah, it's
go.
a little
Sorry
zoomed.
about that. That's a little better. Um, I can also do this. That should make it better too. Just fumbling my way through this. But yeah, we're like trying to create something that has this sort of aesthetic and feel to it. Obviously, with our own track designs, our own creation, and be able to mix in some actual gameplay so that it's not just sitting back and betting on your horse, so to speak. You're not just picking a marble that you want to win and hoping it does. We want to actually let players get in and jump in the game and make choices prior to and during the course of the game that gives them control. So, Abomination, thank you for the gifted sub.
Oh,
Awesome. Appreciate
nice.
that.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you.
Nice.
So
So
pretty.
yeah.
Can you do that again?
I mean, I can't do that again, but maybe somebody else will throw something in for us later that we'll get to see that again. You like that, huh? Yeah, so That's sort of this gives you a little bit of the vibe of the aesthetics, the I think of what we want to go for. Obviously we want to make this our own. We want to change out the background, the scenery. We want to make something that's unique to us, but I love the aesthetics of this. I think they've done a fantastic job, and again, this is just one example of many that do really well. And then the gameplay and the interactivity is what's going to make it different. For example, I mentioned Mario Kart. We want to be able to have some way of taking things like, little things throughout the course where you can pick up abilities that you can trigger and use during the race. And we can talk through what those would be.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's, I don't know if
Okay.
that helps answer the question. Um,
Yeah, I think that's great.
I was thinking you guys feel free to jump in if you disagree, because this is just something that I've been thinking, but I'm totally open on everything. We're totally open to anything, including from those of you in chat. If you want to chime in and throw in suggestions or ideas, we're happy to hear from you as well. But I'm thinking in terms of music, it would be kind of cool to do uh, like some classical music that is in the
Oh,
public
really?
domain that we could kind of rock up. Like
For sure.
Travis, I loved what you did in that project that you shared at the last IGDA meet.
Oh,
The
yeah.
music that you did in that game for Ryan, it was like Christmas music, but he, added, a real rock
Oh yeah, Vale
theme
was telling us
to
about
it.
that.
It was pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
So
Thank you.
I was thinking something along those lines with classical music, but I'm open. Like, I don't know if that scares you or encourages you or what you think, or what if you guys have different thoughts or.
I think it'd be fun. It'd be a good challenge to take a classical piece and turn it into a rock version.
I think eventually too, it would be cool to have like the music change as you jump into different areas or different tracks too.
Mhm.
That could be fun. So speaking
Yeah.
of, I'm sorry, I don't mean to feel like I'm hogging all of this, but I think it's important that we also mention we were talking about making the pieces, the elements to this, modular and having sections of track that we could kind of swap in and out with other sections so that we can create multiple tracks utilizing the same pieces instead of having to completely redesign a track from start to finish. Um, I think that that's going to be cool. And I had a question for everybody on this idea because, as you mentioned, Attack the Dawn. We talked about maybe some themes, like
Hmm.
having the players be able to choose between like being a pool ball or maybe a planet. So you have kind of a
Yeah.
space theme, or being a knight, and so you have like a castle theme, or being a panda and you're in like a bamboo forest. And I think it would be cool to have all of those, but obviously we got to just start somewhere and start simple. So my question is, like, would it be too jarring to mix and match genres within the same, like, where you're going from one to the next, or even having two side by side at the same time? Is that too
Mhm.
weird? Like, should the whole thing be focused on one theme, or is having a theme change on you cool? I don't know.
I think, like, I mean, at first, it definitely would be easier to design, easier to make for us on one end to kind of keep it all the same and then move to the next one. But then at some point, some elements could maybe intermix. Like you mentioned, Mario Kart. You'll have like a specific track, but maybe the players' carts are themed a certain way or what, like I don't know, whatever. Um, but there has to be some kind of limit to that because of course I think Carl Jungian, the collective unconscious, like we all have an idea of how something should be. And I don't know, I think that it might be too jarring was a good term, as a
Sure.
player or someone viewing it. Like if it's too mixed up and muddled, it might be like, what am I watching? But yeah, I think it would be good to start off maybe to make things easier on us too, just to start with one thing and then, maybe think about mixing certain elements later on.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah.
Royal Pain says, can you have the theme change with certain areas of the song? So that's kind of what I was saying is that we actually have the song change based on areas, but
Mhm.
For
obviously
sure.
it depends on how much we're going to even mix it in. If we do completely different track styles, we can have a completely different piece of music for each one for sure, or have it change. But Travis, maybe you can, throw in your 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I think it would be good to have the music change based on the terrain or the level, and maybe also other factors too. So if there's an event where it triggers like an enemy boss, maybe the music can get a little more active
Mm,
and hectic.
Yeah.
um,
makes sense.
or if you collect certain power ups or certain things that make you go faster, or then the music can change with that as well.
Well, the one thing that would be difficult for that is that it would be a multiplayer game on a shared screen. You're going to have like probably somewhere in the range of 8 to 12 players, which we'll have to determine momentarily, but uh, playing in the same game on the same screen. So we can't really change it based on what happens to a player. It would have to
That's
be
true.
based on like where they're at on the track, so to speak.
Hmm.
But we were talking about introducing points along the game where we sort of allow them all to catch up and group together before they enter the next section. So there'll be a natural point where we could kind of change up music if we wanted to. Even if it was sort of the same piece of music, but change up like you know better than me, but I've seen what you've done in some other games, where you,
Thanks.
speed things up or like you were just talking about. So yeah,
I don't mean to change subjects, but
yep,
what about roles? Do you want to talk about roles? I know
yep.
you mentioned that.
Let's do it. I like Hawaiian rolls, especially if they are warm and you add a little butter. I
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
does
okay. You
how
said Hawaiian roll, and I thought sushi roll.
King's
I was
Hawaiian.
Ooh,
so I was like, you want to put butter on your sushi roll?
Ooh, that
there's
that doesn't
definitely
sound like a
butter.
bad option though.
Let's see. Abomination says, can you just create multiple tracks and either first player to enter the race chooses the track or people could use their earned points to choose a different track? Yeah, Cena, that's cool. I was actually thinking that you might have the subscribers, the channel subscribers, be able to drop into the game as players, and the channel
Mhm.
followers would vote on the track. That was a thought. I don't know if that's cool or not, but yeah,
That'd
using
be cool.
channel points to put in a track vote is a great idea. Although we don't have channel points, we have character experience. Yes, that's what it's called. Our channel
Boom.
points are called.
Nice. I love that.
Right? Thanks.
Well chosen. Well named.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So yes, more to your serious question, Attack the Dawn. Yeah, we should probably make sure we're on the same page on rules. Obviously, Travis is doing music. I think we can just dub Travis as the audio guy, right? So
Yeah.
music and sound effects.
Well, I mean, I'm I'm still working on sound effects, I guess, but so I'm a novice with that.
Okay.
But for music composing, I can totally do that.
Sure, sure, sure.
I have
Um,
to evict my cat.
no problem. So yeah, Kimmy Kish says she's sticking with points thingies. I think that's fine too. If you want to call them points thingies, that works. So the question from Abomination: are we making the castle first? I don't know. Like
Okay, so
I
yeah,
did
you know what? Based off of what she's saying, you did mention a horse,
I did
and
I
And the
did.
castle, we could go, and it's golden character design. It's a knight.
It's
I'm totally down with doing like some kind of like medievally theme first.
we
Nice.
could definitely
And
do that.
you talked about music being like Christmas but rock. We could do like medieval, but I don't know,
I
Sure.
like it.
Yeah.
I like
something like
it.
that.
Thoughts? Ludum, you've been quiet. Anything you
We
need
can
to?
go that route. It's not
Yeah,
bad.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so what does that mean? Like, I figured
Let's
I
say
would. I figured I would start off in terms of roles. Uh, I've already been able to I just started an empty Unity project, and I figured I would start off by creating player objects, cameras, and UI elements so we can get monitors for the players to be able to see, and that'll help determine how many players we're going to put in a single game based on how I can lay the scene out to look nice, and then just work on some scripts to control the cameras so that as the players are moving through, we're getting some really nice cinematographic look to what's going on. So I figured that's where I would start on my end for coding, um, if that sounds good.
so it's safe to say your role is programming.
I think it's safe to say. I mean, unless somebody else is
Yeah.
stepping up to challenge that,
Nope.
I'm okay.
Not it. Nope.
Never. I am an artist.
No.
And that's
That
sort
is
of
it.
I had that feeling, right? So okay,
I can
um,
support. I can support from a distance.
He can throw down with some programming.
awesome, awesome. So I actually shared access to this project to you, Ludum. So that could be helpful
Oh,
too, where you
nice.
can drop projects into the imports file. I'm only able, I can't add everybody to the project. I have very limited slots without paying for an additional service. So I can't add everybody here to the project without incurring an extra charge. So, Ludum could drop the items in, and then either I can work with them and or he could. If we need to get somebody extra access, we can discuss that. But is that something we need right away, or just something we can discuss if it comes to that?
Yeah, I think that's fine for now.
Cool.
I'm okay with that.
All right. All right.
Yeah, we can
So
do that. So then, like, as of right now, if attack creates any assets and materials and whatnot, I guess you just throw them to me, and I can just toss them in
So
for now.
what are the two of you doing? Yeah, definitely. You could do that. I think that works. What are the two of you doing? How are you dividing up all the 3D element creation then?
I
Side
guess that's
crickets
something we have
chirp.
to figure out.
Okay.
Fight to the death.
Fight the-
Um,
I mean,
Well, I mean, I guess once we really establish exactly what the theme is we're currently working on, I suppose, we can sit down and we can actually kind of draw it out, kind of concept it up and divvy up,
mm,
like if we were to sit down together, create a base set of assets and a design of a level that we want as a team or as an art team, I guess, and then discuss it and then divvy up the assets. That'd probably be the most efficient way to do that.
sure. I
Because when
mean,
we're going to be working with the environment,
mhm.
we're going to have to be able to communicate and share color values, what materials we're using. That way,
mhm.
the environment stays consistent. So,
Size of
luckily
the
for us, we live in the same household
maps.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I like
Like
that.
sizing
Yeah.
of stuff, make sure everything is, yeah, the same on the same scale.
Okay. Well, it sounds like
Hmm.
unless anybody has a different suggestion or a different idea they want us to roll with, it sounds like the castle. it's
Uh,
it sounds like
I
the
made a ball. I'm
okay.
ready to start. Like I'm ready. I made a little ball.
All right, very cool.
It,
It sounds to me like the castle theme, some medieval castle kind of stuff sounds like our direction to start.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then what I would suggest, Ludum, is we probably, yeah, the jousting arena, we sort of already
Nice.
talked about that off camera. Sorry. Yeah, we came up with this cool idea of having
We
like a
did.
little wooden horse with a little jousting match where you have
Hmm.
two players kind of go down and you have to, as a player you get to choose sort of whether you're going low or high with your um, um, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on terms now.
The
Lance,
javelin
right? The lance,
lance.
javelin, which is
Or
it? I don't
Lance.
know. Yeah. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Um, so yeah, I love it. What I was going to say, Ludum, is I think that we're not going to be able to sit down and have like a whole design session off camera because the whole idea is we want to be able to create this game in front of everybody here on stream. So what I would
True.
suggest
Hmm.
is if you've got some ideas or you want to lay out and design the track, start cranking that out now. Hold it up in front of your camera. We can throw in our 2 cents and let's just make it happen. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I unless somebody
Well,
has different thoughts.
well, I have a quick question. So,
Yeah,
do you mind throwing back up on your screen
I
that video?
I would really rather not throw up on anything. Um,
Oh.
I just that is not a preference. But yes, I can put a one of these up if that's what you mean.
Yes, there we go. Okay, so
Okay.
I have a question for Ludum. So, like that background, like, is that because this is a very huge space? It's looking like that everything is living in, but it looks like it might just is that like a photo air or something, or like a video of an actual like it's kind of hard to tell because it's kind of small, but
Yeah.
no,
Maybe.
it looks like
It is kind
Sorry,
of
that
hard to
was.
tell.
Yeah.
because
I
I
was.
think the best we should start with like creating because if we're gonna go in Unity, like um just I think first we need to know the size, well not for necessarily first, but one of the things is we need to know like sizing for scale and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like because you have the background, then you have all the asset pieces, then you have all the like animated pieces. I don't know where I was going with that. I like
Here.
lost my train of
I.
thought, but I just
I think.
because it's a lot. We're just starting, so it's like it's
Yeah.
a lot to think
It's all
about. But
good. Yeah.
Fair enough. I think I might be able to answer the where you were going with that. In my thought would be for the background, just to create a skybox. So the entire background can just be a
Hmm.
skybox that is like scenery, like a horizon
okay,
and sky
the
and
castle would be back
and
there, or are
the
we in the castle?
I'm thinking the track would be the castle. Like you're going
Okay.
through in and out different parts of the castle, maybe. So like you'd roll inside of a darker corridor, and then you pop back out upside up on top of a wall, and then I don't know, stuff like that. So the track pieces, elements, and what we're creating would be the sort of castle environment, and then that what you see in their version is a garage, would be like a skybox that is just scenery, like horizon, distant, and that way, no matter
Are you
what
talking
you
about
do with the
flat?
camera,
Is
um,
that the skybox flat, like the image that would be? I don't even know what a skybox is, but is it just like a flat?
a skybox
Same here.
basically.
I wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah, no problem. A skybox basically allows you. It's sort of six different images, so it's a box that wherever the camera goes, those images are way off in the distance, and
Hmm.
it's what you see. For example, this is the default skybox. Is this right here? It's really like basic, cheesy, It's
Oh,
just a
okay. By
horizon,
default.
but you can, like, I'll bet if you looked up on the internet, you could see lots of examples. Type in like high resolution skybox or something like that, and
Mhm.
um, get some great examples. Some people will put just space. For space, for example, is a good because like that way you're only focusing on the objects. You never have to worry about the rest of it. It's all just always off in the distance, if that makes
Okay.
sense. That would be my thought to the approach on that, so that you're not actually modeling or designing a backdrop. You're only having
Mhm.
to deal with the upfront objects.
Okay, so it's just a sky, nothing, no objects need to be modeled to look to look at out there. It will be whatever you set it to be.
That's my thought. And if
I love
we,
that. Okay.
after
Yeah,
we
so we
build
can
that,
focus.
if you don't like the look, if we think it doesn't have enough, we can add
Okay,
to it. But
fair enough.
I
Yep.
think that that's a super fair start.
Okay.
I was thinking about a couple things.
Yep.
Um, so, so you were mentioning the marble race. Could the marbles be, well, you were originally just referencing that as potential idea for inspiration, right?
Yeah, I mean
But
it's
you don't
it's
necessarily have to create marbles
I, I mean
or
it's
marble race.
it's sort of the concept of the base of our idea. If you've got a different idea, we're open. I
I was
think
thinking, yeah, I was thinking maybe would it be possible to have like characters that when they run they could start rolling and they look like a marble. I don't know, because like for me I feel like if people are able to choose different characters, it might make things a little more personable. Like you can select like a soldier or maybe a knight, and then I guess when they're running, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's
They
two
can.
things. There's two things to keep in mind with this game. I definitely see what you're talking about, and we do want to introduce some sort of character choices and options. But the two of the big restrictions that we have to worry about. Number one, because this is an in-stream Twitch game, nobody is going to have like controllers where they're moving their character and controlling, okay, go this way. So all of the movement, at least with our concept, was going to be physics based. So it would just be gravity doing all the
Mm,
work, so that you're not having to have player controls. And then so that really complicates things if you make it like not a ball.
yeah.
um, the other obstacle to that is that I can't remember the what was said 30 seconds ago, so I don't remember what my second point was. I had another really good point, but now I don't.
That's not so good.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I was just thinking like there could be a selection of characters, and each character has a special ability, and people can choose and potentially customize their own character. And I guess when they're running in this race, maybe I don't know, they can go inside a marble,
Yeah, I mean,
or they like maybe it's a hedgehog and you start spinning and
I
start
got you.
rolling and it turns into a marble. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
I mean, you could have it. You could have it where they start up and they run into some sort of a pod or sphere or something, that then, but yeah, I mean, there's some options there. We did want to definitely create character abilities and character options at the start so that when you're signing up to play, you're getting to make some choices as to how it's going to play out and who you get to be. Whether it's as simple as picking a symbol and a color, or as complex as picking multiple abilities and attributes. We don't know. Yeah, those are good ideas. We could definitely do something along the lines of what you're saying. Have it run up and jump into something that then the spherical object would then propel from there, just sort of as like an intro.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, could happen. That could
And then
work.
there was another idea I was
Okay.
thinking about. I don't know how if it's easy to include like someone potentially wearing like a VR set.
Ooh, that would
Have you
be
guys heard about the or have you guys played Acron? It's like looks like Acorn, but they spelled it Acron. Attack of the Squirrels. Have
no.
you guys seen that or
I
played
No, I
that?
have not.
Mm-mm.
Um,
I'm gonna look into
so
it right now.
yeah, so you have one person wearing the VR set, and they're like a tree. They have acorns, and they're protecting their acorns, and then other people can play from their phones, right? So, and those people are a squirrel, and you can pick different squirrels. They have different abilities, and you're trying to collect the acorns. Um, so it's kind of like a race to see if you can get them. But it's all cooperative for all the squirrels. But the tree is trying to protect the acorns. So
Oh,
it's
That's
like
that's really
awesome.
cool.
I don't know, 5 people versus you
right.
can have a lot. I don't know how many people you can have, but you can have like 5 people versus one person using the VR set.
Right.
Um,
It almost sounds like a Super Mario, like a Mario Party mini game where it's like the
It
1v, how many
yeah.
people. That's
I
awesome.
so I
think
was thinking
go ahead.
in this marble race, maybe there could be a character using a VR set trying to like destroy the track. I don't know, and you're a marble trying to like survive.
I mean, I don't know how we would incorporate since it's on Twitch, since it's a live stream. I don't know how you
Uh,
could incorporate VR.
oh,
Like I don't know
okay.
how anybody would be able to do that, but we could always have, you know, like an NPC that's messing with the track, you know? Like
Mhm.
that would just make it very difficult in terms of dynamics, just working through how do you get it all to work. It would be cool to add stuff in like that.
Oh, and then
Um,
maybe the marbles
you
can
know,
would have to cooperate with each other in order to get through the track. I don't know.
interesting. I mean, yeah, it would be kind of cool to have like a part of the track where they go and then you have something off to the side grabbing hold of this track and lifting it up in the air, breaking it off from the rest, and now it
Mhm.
drops you somewhere else or something. I don't know. It could be an interesting way to transition from theme to theme.
Hmm.
Yeah, just some ideas throwing out there.
Very
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Thanks.
Royal Pain
Very
said.
creative.
Royal Pain said it sounds like an adult version of Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the NPC could be a giant dragon. I like that. I
Ooh.
like that. The extras in Wipeout just hucking stuff at the track. Okay. Yep. That's from Kimmy.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of good ideas. All right. Um, I think even if we create characters that run up and convert or jump into a ball, I think we could start with the ball to get the dynamics, and then that could be something that we add in for flavor later, right? Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
If we wanted to
Hmm.
go that route, it would
Yeah.
be
sure.
okay.
Yeah,
Start with some
that's
of the
easy.
basics and the essentials to get it rolling. But
Yeah.
I'm going to use that one over
Definitely.
and over.
It's fitting.
Uh,
Very fitting.
all right. Kimmy Kish says, pick up a passenger as a bonus. Ooh, interesting
Nice.
stuff. All right.
Save
Okay.
save the save
Wait.
the citizens.
There's so many options. There's so many things you can do. I mean, it's just the world is our oyster.
Mhm.
All right. Um,
Right.
I I think I'm gonna start on laying out this UI so I can figure out how many players we should do. I did have a question on that. do I think it would be cool to be able to have a version of the game where you can play with kind of an unlimited number of players, and I think that's very possible with this, um, if we keep that in mind as we design it. But here's my opposite direction question. If we design this, let's say that a normal game is designed for 10 players, okay? If we only have four, are we going to run only four, or are we going to run four plus six NPCs?
I'd say go with
Mm,
the 4 with the 6 NPCs. That'd be
Yeah,
my
that sounds
guess.
good.
Yeah.
6 NPCs.
So
Oh, well, no.
basically,
Hold on.
when you're
Oh,
running a
no.
game, you're always going to have the same number unless you're doing this weird, crazy mass, you know, hysteria game. You're always going to have the same number. Or would you have a version where you're only running a few players if you only have a few? I guess that's the question. Royal Pain says agreed. I'll be honest, I don't know what you're agreeing to, sir.
I think the same number of players, like when you play Mario Kart, right? There's usually all these other
That's what I was
NPCs
thinking.
if you're playing by yourself. Right.
Yeah, because it's like when you think of Mario Kart, you like whether you play by yourself or like with the time trial, you're by yourself, or you are going against your own ghost. Outside of that, you're always playing with the other 11 players. So imagine if it was just you four playing. That could allow a nice dynamic between the four players when they're fighting against each other. That's where the battle mode kicks in. um, I think the racing element, it kind of is driven from having all those players. So if you were to take these Marvel elements and only if we have say 8 and there's only 4 players, the dynamic changes. But the problem is they can't control it. So without being able to control it, it's just almost like that random element. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, that means the track will open up and they have more space to work with.
Yeah.
So it kind of allows a different dynamic that isn't in their control, but it makes it a little more exciting to have less players.
Okay.
So I don't know. It works both ways in my mind.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we could always create it as an option. Any other thoughts on that?
I guess you could always start with less and add more later, right?
Well, I'm
To test.
asking because it is gonna play a factor into how I initialize some of these starting
Gotcha.
elements and scripts, to know whether or not it's always going to run with a certain number of players, or whether I need to be able to set it up with, the ability to have varying numbers of players. You
Mm.
know, so it
I would
just
vote for always having the max amount.
always having the max.
That'd be my vote. Yeah.
I'm cool with anything.
Same,
Travis
same.
Travis is like, I just want to make some music, man.
Damn it, guys! Come on.
Right.
I you know,
I'm not the greatest when it comes to game, like what would you call that? Mechanics, I guess.
That's all right. I feel pretty strong in that area. I feel like that's sort of my
I trust your judgment. Let's say
forte.
that. There we go.
So, all right, let's approach with it. I'm going to lay out this UI and see how many spaces monitors we fit on the screen with a good look and a good feel to determine sort of what's a good number of players. I have a concept in mind, so I'm going to start laying this out to see if this could go, and then if you guys want to start hashing out models, I don't know if you want to start thinking about materials for our players or track elements, or you mentioned Ludum. You mentioned talking about kind of drawing out a sort of at least a starter track plan. I don't know.
Well, it's a castle theme, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess So I guess to have the theme of a castle, we think of the materials, or at least kind of how
Stone.
castles are built: stone,
Yeah,
cloth,
Let
yeah.
me pull up
metals.
Substance
We want
Painter.
like a hint of armor,
You know,
um, and then we got to think of like the environmental pieces that go with it. Oh, go on.
yeah, you know what would be kind of cool would be when you first start out, you start kind of at a distance from you see like the whole castle sitting in front of you, and then you start and you get dropped onto some sort of ramp or whatever that takes you closer and closer and right up into the castle, and then that's where things start getting wild and crazy. Like you
Like
could
a
even
roller
Right.
coaster.
yeah,
Like,
you could even have the moat.
Anticipation.
Yeah, you could even have the moat and
Oh,
have that be part of
moat.
it. Yeah.
I love
yeah,
that.
like, think. Okay, so I have a question when it comes to the level design element of it. So we do have the thoughts of having procedural or modular pieces of environment, right? So what is technically, I guess, to start off, what will be the goal of, like, the end goal of the marbles? So like Mario Kart, you have laps, right? So we can have like a 3 lap round where it's like we design a circular level and it repeats, let's say, 3 laps. All right, that's how Mario Kart works. Or is it like that a YouTube video you were showing earlier where it's from one point to checkpoint 1, checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 2, all the way to checkpoint 8? Although with that, they were cutting off a player every checkpoint. So is
Y-
it like, what do we want our end goal to be for this initial
Yeah.
level? Do we want laps or an end goal and the winner takes all?
I don't think personally my 2 cents would be I don't love the idea of laps. I like the idea of it staying unique through the whole course. Um, I do like the idea of some sort of checkpoints. We wouldn't necessarily want to call them checkpoints, but having some sort of a place where the players can catch up. And the main reason for that is that will allow the camera system to keep all of the players within the same shot. You don't want to start spreading players out so far that it becomes very difficult to keep them on camera. And so having
Right.
spots where they get condensed is going to help us accomplish that. Um, and so I think having kind of a unique system to go through, and we definitely don't want to eliminate, at least in my opinion, I don't think we want to eliminate players as we progress. I think everybody needs to be in it to the end.
Okay.
I
All
don't,
right.
I'm open to other
So
people's thoughts
the
on
way
it
the
though.
way I'm visualizing this, it's like, okay, so when you start a level of Mario Kart, they showcase the level, right? They showcase bits and pieces of it. You know, they show where you start, where you end, some of the elements that are hazardous, somewhere. I don't know. It's like they're showcasing the fun parts of the level, the parts that make it dynamic. Um, like you said, starting off, you know, you could start far away and then come in. That would kind of be the same idea, where we could showcase the majority or like the overarching view of the level, and then um, we can showcase like kind of the beginning and then the end. That way the players have an idea, and then it's kind of like a mystery in between, because if they're not doing laps, it's not necessarily having to showcase
That is kind
the
of like Mario
hazards
Kart. They
completely.
kind of do that like at the beginning, like the intro right before it counts
Mm-hmm.
down for the race to start. The camera kind of pans certain parts of the track, right?
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think, I
Yeah,
think
that's kind of
that
what I'm visualizing.
Yeah. I think that I like your idea of only showing maybe bits and pieces and not showing the whole course ahead
Yeah.
of time. I like that so that there's some
Mm-hmm.
surprise as it progresses. But what I do think would be cool would be in order to add an actual element of gameplay to it, is you could show some key points in the track where there are choices to be made, and the players could have to make those choices as they're being shown sort of what's coming up. Like for example, okay, the passageway splits into a right and left, And so the players choose, hey, on this split that's coming up, you're going to have to pick one or two. And that player will only go in that direction. And so it creates choices and options for the players to pick as they're playing the game. It just has to be shown far enough ahead of time that a player can respond in chat with a delay from a live stream. But I think having those types of elements in there, so getting a sneak peek at a choice that's up ahead without showing everything that's between where you're at and that choice would be pretty cool.
Yeah. And it
Could
makes it
you
less
have that
predictable.
spot? Yeah, but would it be? I don't want to say always fitting, but to start off to have that at a checkpoint. That way, while
Yeah?
people are catching up, people can start inputting like which path they're going to
Are you
choose.
starting to
And it
play
doesn't have to
music,
be like
Travis?
directly
That's so
after they
awesome.
go
I can't
again,
wait to hear you
but
play
like
music.
Yeah.
maybe halfway
That's
through.
awesome.
That's a great idea. I love that, Ludiment. I think that's a fantastic idea. Make the choices correspond with the checkpoints, the gathering points,
Hmm.
whatever they would be. I like that. That's a great idea.
I think that helps with the pacing a lot too.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. You could even theoretically, yeah, you could even
Ball.
theoretically pop the choice up when that checkpoint is
Oh,
reached for that next segment. Here's the choice you have to make in the next segment. I don't know. There's a lot of options there, but I like that corresponding it because you're going to have a natural slowdown at that moment. So that's a perfect opportunity. That's
hmm.
great.
Okay. So then, so choices will be during the checkpoints then. Well, checkpoints, in
Okay.
a sense. Not always, I guess, but to start. Okay.
So it's like on the fly, you have
Copy
to
that.
kind of be alert. It makes people want to kind of pay attention, right? Because if it's randomly might come up, right? Then they have to make a choice.
Yeah. I guess that keeps their attention going.
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Not bad.
It's not just sit and watch until the very end. Like you have to, it's interactive, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, so I should catch up on a few comments in the chat.
Ah,
Abomination and I were totally on the same page with the moat. Kimmy brought up a drawbridge to go into.
ooh,
Um,
a drawbridge.
yeah. Royal Pain made a suggestion about collecting points, like for the checkpoints. We actually have I've got a lot of ideas for collecting points throughout, um, because we're talking about general track, but I'm also thinking to fit into that sort of pinball theme. I do think that we also want to create a whole bunch of like elements throughout these passageways and different pieces of the track where you're bouncing off of things and knocking into things and going through things that will you can earn points or lose points or something. And you can even have, I thought that would be a nice tie in to like ability choices at the beginning of the game where you can pick this, you want this type of bonus this game, or you want this type of bonus, like a certain multiplier or different
Hmm.
things like that. And then let's see. Abomination asked, "Are you gonna make it like a standard gray castle, or can you do like a dark theme to try and incorporate black and gold colors for golden character design?" I like
Maybe there could be
that.
different sections of the castle.
I
Like,
yeah
when
yeah
you start at the beginning, maybe it's like the foyer or the entry hall and it's grand and beautiful, and then it slowly progresses like through the different parts of the castle. Maybe there's a golden character design area where it's themed that way, and then maybe you go to like the dungeon and there's like an executioner and he's like the or the torturer or whatever. Okay, that might be too dark, but like, stuff like
yeah.
that.
We
And the
don't need to
Iron
go
Maiden.
too
I
dark.
don't know if you guys saw that. I'm modeling an Iron Maiden. That would be so cool.
Right. Um, I also still like the idea of modular. So even if we stick to one theme, I still think it would be cool to like create these different sections in a way that they could be placed in random order every time you play. So you don't know, so like maybe we create a dozen sections, and every game you only play 6 sections, and they're randomly selected out of the dozen and placed in a random order.
Oh, oh, I see what you're saying.
So we'll
Okay.
need a neat transition.
Okay.
We'll
Exactly.
need
You
a
Yeah.
got
neat
to have a
transition
you got to
between
have a
each
cool
area there.
transition that can go to any other. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. And all we'd have to do with the prefab uh, Ludum would be similar to what we're doing in Floral Studio, where you would create a point on each prefab. So you'd have a big section of track, and you just create a point that would say,
Mhm.
here's the entry point, here's the exit point. And then you can write code that when it's creating the track, it just matches those 2 points up. For example, track section A, and now it determines here's track section B, and it lines up the start point of B with the end point of A. And then it lines up the start point of C with the
Hmm.
end point of B, and so forth. Does that make sense?
So with that said, yeah. So with that said, because I was imagining that we would more so build the levels like in Unity, right? So is it possible to take like an empty game object and put that start point to that? That way we can place it wherever we want per level.
Yes.
That
So,
way it's not
yes.
like specifically we're building an entire piece in Blender,
No,
exporting the whole thing out
no, no, no.
that way.
I would create individual pieces in Blender. So, for example, like what you were just saying, we can create a section in Unity by putting together this piece, this piece, this piece, and they would just be parented together to a single object, and that object would be track section dungeon, track section moat, whatever.
Gotcha.
And then you just
Okay.
make it so that whichever one has an exit and an entrance that could work to get to any other section, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we can do all
Hmm.
that in Unity, yes. Yeah. So that way you don't have to create, yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be trying to add everything together to create a giant model in Blender. Just create the individual pieces there. Yep, yep, yep. It'll be good.
It's just creating the transition would be the hard part. Make it like
I don't think it'll
smooth.
be that hard because all you have to do is have it calculate. Like, you just need to know what point they, for example, let's say oh, we got something happening. I couldn't read it.
Hydrate.
Hydrate. Of course it is. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me on that. All right, everybody, hydrate.
Yep.
Oh, and stretch.
Oh,
All
I know.
Stretch.
right. All right, we got to
Oh.
stretch. There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Suggestions.
All right. We got nice redeems there, guys. Keeping us on our toes. Keeping us from getting
Yeah, I've been sitting too much.
And posture check. And a little bit of posture check.
too posture check as
Ooh,
well.
what is that?
Yes. Stand
Got a
up
little
straight.
little treasure chest.
Roll your shoulders
Check
back.
Make sure you're sitting straight in your chair. All right. They're keeping us.
You guys are
They're,
doing this too, right?
yeah, yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
watching.
No, no, it's. All right. There we go.
It's a good stretch.
Okay. This is the I don't know. If anybody tunes in right in that moment, they're gonna be like, "What in the world is going on?"
Yeah.
uh,
Yoga session. Yoga.
right?
Yeah.
Yoga devs. All right. Yeah. Cool. No, I think we've got some good ideas. I forget what we were saying right then and there, but I think we're good.
Just saying that the level transition wouldn't be that difficult.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Basically, what I was trying to say with that is, like, for example, let's say they just drop off. You have a collection point, some sort of gathering, right? And then you have it open up where they just fall into nothing. That can be the end. It just falls into nothing. And then you just mark in Unity, you create an empty game object that marks that spot where they fall. And now you line up whatever next piece element has something to catch them. And you line that up, you mark that as the entry point for that next section. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hmm.
hmm
So okay,
I can
so let's say
sketch it
that
if you.
like okay, so like if you have the marbles and let's say they're going down a slope one by one, right? So that first one's gonna hit that point first, and then the second one's gonna hit that point. Third, each one hits that point
Mm-hmm.
separately. Whenever that next level loads, is it going to continue? Like, are they going to have one the same momentum that they entered with or hit that
I
point with? Or are
I
they going
see
to
what
keep
you,
the same distance
I
between?
see what you're saying. There would be no loading. So the track would be created
So it's
in
all
its
instantaneous.
entirety from start to finish before the race starts. But it would be modular so that it's a different track every time you play. But
Gotcha. Okay.
it's all
Okay. So it all
created
loads at the start.
correct. Correct.
Gotcha.
To that okay.
Okay. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. I was
Okay.
like, how are you going to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
But everything's instantiated on level load or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, as soon as you initiate the
Uh,
start of the game, it creates the track and then does whatever initial little sweep through kind of thing. Yeah. All right.
gotcha. Okay. Okay.
You just
Cool.
don't hear
yeah,
Tim
balls or
chimpanzee.
whatever. 2, 3, 4,
So how
5.
many sections do you think we should start with? Like what's like a good amount of areas we should like aim for just to start testing this modular style of building? Like
Two,
6, 10?
2, 3. I mean, um, I don't think you have to get too
But
carried
they'll just be
away.
the castle, right? Like two
You
or
know,
three
like
sections of the castle is what
yeah,
you're mean. Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So what?
All
Okay,
right.
what are the three sections?
Hey, I think this is a great opportunity
Whoa.
for to ask Abomination to create a
Poll.
poll.
To put out a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What
Throne
what are
room,
the
what
options of the poll, or is it
dungeon,
just going to be like
Oh, that's a good
dungeon?
the
question.
That
Should
one.
we
the
should we just
That's
ballroom.
great.
we should spit off a bunch of ideas and then have Abomination create a poll. So we've got what, the moat. We've got, I think, like some
Throne,
corridors. We've got
throne
a
room,
dungeon was mentioned. What did you say? Throne room.
throne room.
Okay.
Maybe a ballroom, right? Or a
Ballroom. Okay. The
A
I
beast
like
ballroom.
I like the I like the idea of like the top of a wall. Like running along the outside wall or something would be kind of cool, like the Great
Oh,
Wall. you know. um,
nice.
you could do, I don't know, some ideas like that, and if anybody in
Okay,
chat
so
has any ideas to add, I don't know how
as an
many.
artist, I have to ask. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, we also need the jousting put on there. The jousting arena.
Interesting.
Yep, yep, the jousting arena. Go ahead. As an artist, you have to ask.
Um, what time period is this? Because I like being time period accurate. Are we talking
ooh, nice.
medieval? Because there's a difference between medieval and Renaissance, and like the castles look different. Or I guess we could just say, overall kind of fantasy. Sometimes, games don't really pinpoint a specific time period. It doesn't have to be
I'm
perfectly time accurate, but
I'm open. What do you guys think? Or do we need another poll, separate poll for that?
why is it not
I'd say
working?
just general fantasy to start.
Okay.
in a token
That kind of
token pistol in a treasure chest.
a token what?
Pistol, a gun, or shotgun.
Oh.
I don't know, some kind of modern weapon where it's like just kind of where did this come from?
A cannon.
I was
Oh,
gonna
that
say
would
cannon.
that would be
Damn
cool.
That
baby
You
sounds
driver.
roll into the cannon and you get shot to a whole different part.
Oh
Yeah.
That
yes.
would be that would be
That'd be a
cool.
good checkpoint.
That would be a great checkpoint. That would be a great. Oh, you should also then, like a trebuchet, same thing, same type of
Oh yeah,
thing.
nice.
What'd
That
you call me? What's a trebuchet?
that's like that big. It's like a
Yeah,
big
trebuchet,
crane
like
looking thing that like
catapult,
launches.
Like a
Yeah,
catapult.
catapult. Yeah, where
but
you
Oh,
like
just sort of,
catapult.
you
Oh,
catapult,
you
but
have
know.
to.
more sophisticated, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The trebuchet.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah,
You
That would
didn't
be
you make
really
one in
cool.
like what
because
high school? Back in high school, we had to make one. We all had to make one.
I
Oh,
hope
really?
a
That's
trebuchet.
class.
I hope somebody's taking notes on all these
Yes.
ideas. Hint, hint, abomination.
No,
Oh, you got it too, Ludiment. Great. Awesome.
yeah.
And Monty Python, nice. I love that.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tis
I
but a
think
scratch.
Tis
that
but
would
a
be cool.
scratch.
That would be cool. We got to have that.
Why isn't this working? Export. Maybe I am crazy.
I came up with
What
this.
instruments do you play, Travis?
I play the piano. I can sing, like in the choir.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Okay.
I
Ooh.
sing karaoke, right? I used to play the French horn
Nice.
and the alto saxophone, barry saxophone, and I've been tinkering with the trumpet not too long ago. Guitar
Oh,
as well, just like
that's
messing around with that.
fun.
But basically, piano is my main instrument.
Okay, very
Nice.
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 Do you guys play
Multifaceted.
any instruments yourself?
James does.
I do.
Ludum does.
Nice.
I
What do you
play drums, piano, guitar, kind of the flute. Kind
Nice.
of. Those are my main ones. Let's leave it at that. Not a traditional musician. I don't know how to like read. Well, I know how to read and kind of write, but I'm not very good at it. But I can
It's all
play
good.
anything you throw in front of me. So
Nice.
yeah, not too bad. Let's see.
Hey, Ludum, can you tell me why this isn't working? Okay, do you see how I have multiple balls here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had one, but then I multiplied them, right? Actually, let me apply rotation and scale. Save. Okay, I unwrap them all. File, export FBX, right? Saving it under Game Jelly, under ball one, export. Then I go to Substance Painter, file, project configuration. I select from Game Jelly ball one, right? Open.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they like it's not transferring
Well,
over?
what does the error say at the bottom left?
Oh, I didn't even notice there was an error. File import failed, reverting back to previous one. Interesting. Let me try and do a new one.
So in Blender, did you combine? That's all one object, right?
Yes. Well, what do you mean?
Like
Like I
so all
duplicated
of those
it
is
based
just
off
one
of one.
object.
Yes.
Okay. Um when you set the transform and scale, did you have them all selected?
In object mode. Like there, it's
Yes.
one object, so I just click on it, right? Object,
Mm-hmm.
apply, rotation, and scale.
Try all transforms. See if that does it.
Object, apply, all transforms. Interesting. Okay. And then save, file, export, FBX. Where is the... Nope. That's bizarre. I'll just start over.
Still no. Hmm.
Oh well, it's okay.
It
Thank
is
you.
weird. Hmm.
There we go. I just started a new one. That was weird though.
Unity. Oh, it feels good to use a different engine. I'm not gonna lie.
When is it? When is it? I don't even know how to ask this. When will we know what scale we're going to be working in? Once Ludum starts building the level, the pieces.
It's kind of what I'm like playing around with now, is to kind of
Oh, okay.
see what our sizing might be
Yeah.
like. I don't know,
Okay.
because we're not really gonna
feel
know
like
until we try it.
I feel like you two are kind of gonna have to come up with that. Like, if you two just sort of combine
Mhm.
to figure out scale. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm working on.
Cool.
Okay.
Shouldn't take that long to kind of get an idea.
So, all right, trying to do math here. 14. So 384 is 16. 9.
I can where that music's going. Digging it.
24.
All right.
Thanks.
Times
Awesome.
9 is
Okay.
216.
I don't know. I'm just kind of browsing around here with different sounds.
Very nice.
Get that. Are you going for like almost like a royal sound? Like what kind of
Yeah.
medieval sound are you imagining?
I was thinking kind of like a royal theme, royal sound, like you're in a castle in front of the king.
Nice.
216.
Or more medieval. A little bit different.
Royal Pain said a mech suit. That's awesome. Kimmy said what they used to throw the cows. Oh, okay, I read that one already. Kimmy played a marimba in marching band. What is that?
Ooh, nice. I played the
What's a marimba?
vibraphone in a winter drumline back in the
Oh,
day.
I don't know what that is either.
Vibraphone, nice.
That's like a
Vibraphone?
percussive instrument, keyboard instrument, the mallets,
Okay.
the marimba.
Nice.
Very awesome.
You young kids and all your new fun-fangled terms. I don't know what you're talking about.
Marimba, concert marimba.
I bet these instruments are older than we are, actually. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a wow from the other room.
Here's a marimba.
Let's see.
All right.
You guys heard that?
Oh, okay.
21610.
So like a metallic
Oh, is it?
sound.
Are you playing with 4 mallets? It's like
64.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like you hold two in each hand.
yeah.
Okay. Nice.
I don't know.
Hey, Vale.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Is one of your things on your to-do list or priority to-do list creating like the follow cam?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What's the layer? What the fuck do you want? Oh, my cat.
It's like
Does this seem kind of work? cat.
Why is it doing that?
Six.
What's still there? He just wants attention. I don't have time for that right now. Technical difficulty.
All right.
Hey, look, guys, it's a meatball.
Oh, that's interesting.
Meatballs.
Abomination redeemed mod poll requesting that the moderator make a poll. I don't know if that's what you intended to do. I, I'm guessing. I'm guessing
Mod
she's
poll.
working on figuring this out since it's the first time we've actually tried to do one in this channel. We only got the ability to do it. We only got the ability to make polls as of yesterday. So, we,
Ah. Yeah.
yeah,
Gotta learn.
yeah. I don't know how to do it. I can't help. I'd have to fumble around in the settings just like you are. There should be yeah.
Well,
I don't
we
think
got a
I
ball rolling, so that's kind of cool.
okay. Cool.
Easy.
What?
Let's see. Manage a poll. Create a new poll. See, I don't want to have to create this though. I need to send it to you. I know you can do it. Okay, that was a little weird. Sorry about that, but I don't know. For me, there's a button on my stream manager. So I don't know if you have access to the stream manager screen when you're looking at Twitch. I don't know how it looks from a mod's perspective. I'll be quite honest. I have no idea. So
How do you do a poll?
And this is just a ding, ding, ding. There's 10 minutes left in the stream. That went by so fast.
no. We can't have that.
Crazy,
Oh,
right? Should we
no.
maybe talk
Man,
about
it feels like we're just getting started.
Right?
I know, right? Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. How many
Just
balls
getting
are there going to be? We
started.
haven't determined that yet. Did we say 6?
It's going to be more than that, I think. I think we
Oh.
want more than that. We want to allow for a lot of players to be able to jump in and join. But the way that the board is coming together, I'm thinking we're looking at 10 would be good.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Are we gonna have teams? Is that something like we're gonna want to do?
I don't know. Maybe we can have different game versions. We can run tournaments and we can run teams and we can run individual heats. We can do all kinds of different formats, maybe. I could actually, we could do a dozen. We could actually shoot. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. Ooh. You know what I
1
could
million
do?
balls.
If I did it this way, wait, that could do 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You could do 16.
Wow.
That's a lot going on, but I think it could work. Because what you could do is this. Move this top 216 and bottom 216 like that. And then you take this one, and we'll go top 0 and 8. 8. I did that math wrong. 864.
So if we're talking 16, like, do you imagine the marbles having about the same size as they would be in like those YouTube videos? Or do you think it'd be smaller?
Whatever works for you guys. I mean,
What do you mean by smaller?
Well, like in those YouTube videos that Bale had on earlier, like those marbles seemed pretty, I don't want to say big compared to the level size, but like when you look at a pathway that the marbles would roll on, it's like it was built for X amount of balls per section because it drops off a player every checkpoint. So if we had
Mm-hmm.
16 players, we'd have to build the environment to accommodate for that.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's a good,
So so
good
depending on the
thought.
size of the marbles, if we had 16, if we made them kind of big to the level, then our areas of movement would be bigger. Where if the marbles were smaller, it we can kind of keep the level or like the pathways on the smaller scale. Kind of depends how we want to go about doing that.
Don't want to lose track of them though if they're too small. I mean, I guess it depends, but hmm.
So, like, if you look at what I'm working on, I have one, two, three, four,
Hmm.
five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 marbles.
That's 10.
So watching them all roll, yeah, it could be seem to be big in some areas and small in others. It works. Whee! Hmm. But that's 10. So if we were to go 16, hmm, oh, escape doesn't work. Let's see. Um, 11, 12. Oh, 14. And oh, oh crap!
okay,
I guess
guys,
if you hold Control D, it just keeps duplicating.
if you want to take a look at my screen, this is just positioning. This is not actual look, but this is what I could do. Each of these would represent a camera. So all of the small ones along the outer edge would be a player camera that would be their specific follow cam, and then the center section would be the broadcast camera that would show whatever is kind of the most exciting big highlight shot at the moment for the whole race for spectators kind of thing. So if I use this layout, this allows for the there's 16 smaller cams. What do you guys think? How does that feel?
That's pretty neat for you to be able to follow your own ball, but then also, look at the bigger picture of everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think it could work. Yeah, I think that would be fine. It doesn't look like they would be too small.
I think if you're trying to
I don't think you
play,
should go any more than that, though.
yeah, I'm a little concerned. Like if you're trying to play on your phone, how it would work. I'd
Mm.
be curious to see what it looks like, but I don't know if we're gonna have any way to get around that. But if somebody's on like their desktop, I think it'd be plenty big enough. You look at because this is gonna be, you know, filling the entire screen. What I've got here, it might not
Yeah.
be that bad. I don't know.
What if
But
whoever's playing, they just see their own marble,
you
right?
can't do that. I have no way of knowing how to do that on Twitch because it's one stream. You're only broadcasting one screen. So whatever I put here, um, you'd have to. The only way to have people see their own screen would be to create an app that they would have to download in order to play. But we're trying to make it fully playable within the live stream. All right.
Hmm.
So let me add.
We have 2 minutes, you guys. That's crazy.
Thank you. 2 minutes.
So are we gonna kill it at 2 minutes, or is there a motion on the table to push a little longer?
I'm down to keep going.
Yeah, I'm down.
Kimmy,
Yeah.
Kimmy redeemed a stretch. All right, I'm gonna stretch.
I need to
It's
use the
Alright.
restroom.
there you
Actually,
go.
I
That's
need to
perfect
redeem.
timing.
I need to redeem my own bathroom break right now.
Well, I do have to
I'm kind of
go.
stuck here. Look at this little guy.
Understand, Travis. Thank you so much for jumping in, and
Yeah, of course.
we'll look forward to you jumping back on it with us
Yeah.
next Friday as we pick up. We may. It sounds like we might push through a little bit more on some of this starting to
Nice.
dev, but
That's awesome.
if you want to jump in next Friday, we'll pick up where you left off on the music part. That sounds good.
Okay, great.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to
Thank
see
It
you.
was
what
nice
else
meeting you,
you can look like.
Travis.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Yeah. We'll have a good time together. I know it.
Awesome.
Have a good night.
Yes. Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks, Travis.
Take care, man.
Take care.
I don't know if I got in my full stretch here. Oh.
Oh, Solaire. James turned into a cat.
Right? Look at this guy. Look at him.
Oh.
Oh,
All
it's
right.
making it hard. Making it hard to work. Huh.
Those are looking really cool. Attack the Dawn.
Thank
like
you.
this.
I'm just messing around with different
Sure.
materials,
I downloaded like a set of pool balls and a set of planets, but since we're doing the castle theme, I didn't download anything that would work for that. So I'm glad you're just going to town on it. I don't know, we'll figure those out. We could figure out how to tie in the player options to the theme. I don't know, we can put the golden character design logo on it maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I need the image of that so I can put it on here.
Okay.
Get me that so I can try and use it. I'm definitely gonna have to because right now it's not unwrapped very well. But
do you have access to that, Ludum?
me?
Ludum. Yeah, Ludum. Do you have access?
Right. I'm gonna use the
Do you have
restroom.
access to the logos? The golden character design logos?
Yes, I do actually. Mhm.
Can you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Can you maybe grab a few of those, download and share with Attack the Dawn? Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome. Woo. Let's see. It would be cool. Royal Pain said it would be cool to use the player experience to unlock different ball types, styles, and colors. That's possible. even with this format game, that is possible. We could do that because all we'd have to do is store a database with the username of what kind of experience points they've earned. I like that idea. The only problem I see with it, though, is what if you have a bunch of people that are starting out and their choices are limited? Then now you're stuck with the issue of like a whole bunch of people having a very limited option and then one or two players having a lot of options. Might not work. I don't boo hoo. I mean, as long as you had
Yeah.
enough options that would meet that all the players, like you, if we're going to do 16 players, you've got to have a default of 16 options, and then you could unlock more than that as you go on, you know. Okay, I really want to add this. um,
Um, I was kind of walking away while you were asking Ludum about the logo.
yeah, he's going to
Yes,
hook you
I
up.
can grab those and I
Okay.
can share them with you.
Do you know the
Do you want
best
those now?
way? Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okie dokie.
Do you know the best way to unwrap a sphere? Because
Depends on what the texture will be.
the game golden the golden character design logo, like an actual, like I need it to look nice. Because look at this metal ball. You can see how crappy my unwrap is.
Probably just maybe down the center. Like, do you want like the logo to be on the sides, or like on the top
Prob-
and bottom? Like, how do you plan on the
Probably on the
logo sitting?
side. I mean, yeah, just on the side.
So then probably like
Just down the center.
vertically
Okay.
around it. Yeah,
Well, might have to.
that'd be my guess.
I'm gonna have to straighten it. That actually won't be too hard. I'm gonna straighten it out.
Ooh. So Royal Pain made a comment that maybe add elements, unlock elements with points, and then Kimmy, if you've won, you could use the logo ball as a trophy, so you unlock. Royal said, "Yeah, I like the idea of a trophy ball. I do too. I like that too. Like if you win a race, you unlock a golden character design ball or something. Who knows? I don't know. Some nice ideas. I like
Yeah,
it. I
Yeah,
like it.
that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
that'd be neat.
Incentive for
Yeah.
sure.
Did you have some stuff that you put in here? Did you drop into that import folder, or what do you have going on? Are you just testing over there? I don't know if you want to
I'm
like
just testing. I'm
push
trying to
or
see how to export these. I don't plan on really pushing just yet.
okay.
Just because I didn't know what you were doing. But I was looking to see how to export like the sizing or like export these game objects as an FBX. That way we can throw them into Blender and kind of get a sizing um, start.
Oh, you want to take it from Unity to an FBX? I've never
Yeah,
done that
just so we can
before.
start.
I don't
You
know
know,
if that's possible or not. I guess it's got to be, right?
that's kind of what I'm looking into.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
because you
never.
can in Unreal.
Okay.
So that's how we started it. So
I mean,
um,
yeah, I would have to guess you could. I'm not an artist or a modeler, so I'm gonna have to leave that one to you.
we're gonna find out, sir.
Yeah. All right.
So should I just share the logo folder with attack, or should I just save those out as images and just throw it her way?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Should I share the drive folder with all the logo stuff with attack, or just save
That's
the individual images?
either way. Either way is fine. Either way is good. It's all good. Thank you all for joining us, by the way. While I have a moment, I should also thank our latest follower that we had between streams. Second Coming AB followed us before we went live. And then also tomorrow, if you're available tomorrow evening, we are going to have Grover Wimberly, indie developer. He's also worked with Night Dive Studios in some recent projects, like helping in getting the new Thing remastered and some other games. But he's working on some stuff on his own company, Whim Independent Studios. And so he's going to share with us his latest indie project. So hopefully tomorrow you can join us for that.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right.
Tomorrow is Saturday. That's right.
Already. Whew. Time is flying. All right. We got this player. What am I trying to see here? Player object. And then we're going to add, we need to import the Cinemachine. Why is it not? Hydrate. All right. We got you.
Hydrate.
Hydrate. Check Discord for those files. Attack.
I have no idea who Drate is, but hello. Welcome.
Hydrate. Welcome on in.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
That went right over my head.
All right. Okay, registry Cinemachine. There we go. Packages, Cinemachine, install. Install.
Game object export to FBX. Game object. What? What are you talking about?
Now, I will put out there for both of you that I I think it is super cool that we're still pushing to get a little more done. I love that. But I don't want you guys to ever feel obligated. Like if you need to roll out of here on time like Travis did, I think it's totally cool. You know.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. we obligated ourselves to the 90s, so just saying. that was awesome. All right.
I mean, it's really hard to just work on anything game development wise for just a short amount of time. I mean, I understand the importance of being able to start and just stop when you have to, but it is so hard.
We don't practice. It's hard to practice, to put that in practice.
Especially when you get a nice ball rolling, you know? Ha ha!
Yep.
That's going to become the oldest joke of this stream really quick.
Great.
All right. I see Royal Pain and Abomination have found the emojis. There we go.
So there's a package.
Oh, nice.
Don't have
package manager for installing FBX exporter.
Okay, got it. You can add that. I still don't have my animated emojis approved. That seems to be taking a long
Still?
time for them to. Yeah, they approved all the standard ones, but none of the animated ones have been approved yet.
Did you get me those logos? Oh, you did.
Yeah, check Discord.
Thanks. Thanks,
You're
homie.
welcome.
Ooh, Illustrator. I love Illustrator. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Unwrap. Ooh, yeah. You see that? That's beautiful.
No, I don't see it. Hold on. I want to see. Wait. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Clean. Like a fucking professional.
It's like I know what I'm
Whistle
doing.
there.
Um,
FBX exporter. Be kind of cool to have like plants and stuff around the moat area. Almost kind of like have like a maybe like a garden esque
Sure.
look to it. Flowers.
They've got Unity's got like a terrain type thing you could use for that if you wanted to.
I need.
Oh, they do, huh?
The document uses fonts that are currently not available. That's fine. I
The
don't need
only
fonts.
the only problem with using the Unity terrain in that is I don't know if you can add it as a separate game object to attach. You should be able to, I think.
Oh,
You should, yeah, you should be able to. You could create like a
I'll have to play
plane.
around with it.
You could create a plane and then add your terrain to it and then just attach that object as a child object of whatever track piece you create, like for the moat. It should work that way. I think that would be an approach.
I could see that working. Yeah, I'll have to play around with that. If anything, we can always just like create and sculpt in Blender, and then just export that out. That works too.
Okay.
I'll have to play around with that.
Sure.
All right. Game object. F-port or export, not F.
oh shoot.
Can't talk.
Cinema machine camera. Okay, cool. So we've got that. This is going to be set up as a.
Huh.
Default.
Where do I want to?
What is the best way to do this?
Tracking target. Default.
Animations.
Standby
No.
updates.
No
Let's
animations.
change this to
None.
always. So setting
Object
some
circular form
camera
is
settings
remarkably
here. Blend hint. We're gonna do screen space aim
Why are
when
you giggling
target
over there?
Exceptional example. Royal Pain
Oh.
talking about the object's circular form is remarkably well executed.
Oh.
the symmetry. It's
Fancy.
my AI generator is hilarious. That is pretty funny. Lens palette. Let's see. Tracking target. I feel like something is off on this camera. What do I have? Why do I have this off?
Import
Okay.
FBX. Let's see if this works. Fingers crossed.
I'm gonna need to
Thing
create
is on air. No.
a 3D object sphere. I'll call smart.
Those files are not supported.
And we're gonna go to the scene. And okay.
In depth of those balls.
Balls.
And we're gonna go with
Hmm.
Cinemachine camera is gonna follow.
There we go. Okay.
Tracking target.
This guy. I just want this guy.
Wait,
Did they
did
change
I-
these? Okay, follow cam. There we go. They changed the way this works slightly, I think. Where's the look at? Tracking target. Position control. Follow.
Aha! There we are. Yes. The
Position
export
composer.
worked.
Cinemachine follow. World space. Dampening 1, that's fine. Follow offset. Let's pull back. It's got a -10. We'll just try it at default for now. That's fine. Where is the... This is very different than I remember it, though. Field of view, far clip plane, Dutch. We're gonna leave all that default. Mode override.
Balls.
No, we're gonna leave that.
Balls.blend.
All right.
Okay, so now, Tack, I'm gonna throw you
You guys are
in
funny.
the Blender
Reading the chat.
folder.
Oh.
Gonna throw a Blender file your way, and that gives reference to what is currently in Unity now.
Which one
I
of
don't know
us
how
did
you
you?
all feel about
Which one of
I
us
just-
did you throw it to?
Tech.
Someone
Okay.
talking to me
Yes.
because I what pardonnez-moi.
Were you just balls deep in your work, or what?
Yes, I am balls deep. I am ball deep.
That's good one. Good one, Ludum. All right.
Thank you.
All right, so for
Um,
real,
I sent
what do you guys want?
I
What
sent
do
you a
what do
Blender
you want?
file on Discord. Okay, I'm
What-
done talking. She's
What'd
on a
you
roll.
send me? Balls dot blend. Okay, thanks. Oh, is that my sizing that I asked for?
Yeah, but if you look at my stream right now,
uh-huh.
or my screen, I don't know how you all feel about the sizing of it so far.
I think it's
this
fine.
has
I mean,
16.
I think it's great to start. Like, you got to keep in mind we're gonna have different places where it's gonna get tight, and other places where it's gonna open up. You know, it's not always gonna be the same width, but I think that looks great as far as like a general.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
All
Yeah.
right, let's roll with that.
Yeah, let's roll with that. Boy, the puns
Rolling
are
with the
the
punkies.
puns just keep on rolling out.
Mhm. Yep.
Unintentional, you know, like legitimately unintentional puns.
Sure.
That's a layer. Sure.
Kimmy Kish says she's on a roll.
Mhm. Ayo.
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 They had some good conversation going on back and forth there. You guys are funny. All right.
I don't know why that's not working. Discard. I'm gonna try that again.
I don't understand why this is different. Why is there not?
So
Why is there
So
not
now
a
we have
follow
sizing.
object?
Fantastic.
Doesn't make sense to me. Always, that's correct. But there should be an ability to set a follow object. They've really changed the controls on
Did that
this.
blender file
Okay.
work appropriately?
Yeah. Are you talking about me to me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it opened.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. Okay. Project projection. Project. Oh shoot! Forgot how to do this.
This one is going to be 10.
Logo. Hmm.
All right.
Extra.
Let's see.
Target tracking. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to attempt.
Okay.
What kind of floor
Cat.
do you think would be pretty common?
Output channel.
Cat, not right now.
Channel 1.
Do you see the floors being just a basic, like flat piece of geometry with a texture on it, or do you think we should kind of create some stone-like like a what's the word I'm thinking of? Uh, like detail, I guess.
Like
think of like
texture?
how like think of like a Souls game where it's like you can tell that they use like a basic texture, but every now and then you'll have like a couple like stones be raised up,
I
that
think it
kind of
would be,
thing. Or do you think we
yeah.
should just
I think it'd be cool to mix and match it. Like, not necessarily have the exact same floor and feel for every single piece. Change it up, like based on what that section is. If you're in a dungeon, try to go, I don't know, with more texture than if you were, say, on like the initial ramp to kind of speed towards the castle. You want that to be pretty smooth. Obvious, I don't know, like
mm-hmm.
change it up a bit. That would be my thought. But whatever you guys think.
Okay?
I don't think we
I'm
want.
thinking of the collision as well. So
Gotcha.
you were thinking what?
Um, I don't know. I don't remember.
Right on.
My memory sucks. That was like
Fair.
10.
Totally
That was like a whole 10 seconds. I don't.
all
Oh
good.
man, that's
That's not so good.
Because well, I guess what we could do, because I was worried about like collisions. So if like we have smooth surfaces and they they like roll smoothly, but if we wanted to add a little bit of bumpiness, I guess we could just enable collision on certain parts that we want.
well,
Because
yeah.
it's
You
like I doubt that we want the visual element where it's like you have balls rolling, and if like you have elevated elements on the floor, we don't want it to look like it's clipping into them, right? Because that looks kind of amateur and not really probably the quality of detail we want, right?
well the physics engine is going to handle all of that. It's going to if you actually have objects that are a raised mesh, it's gonna impact and bounce off of it. It's gonna redirect it or slow it down. Like if you have a texture on there that's not a totally smooth surface, the physics should just kind of give it a little bit of hop and slow it down. The only time you have to
Right.
deal with collisions is when it's going to be something substantial enough that would literally block it from continuing in its path, right?
Right. Yeah. So like let's say you have like what I'm modeling right now, for example. If you have let me scale this down a bit. If you have pretend this is like a brick floor and you have bricks along this pathway. Let me kind of center here. And you have like a brick here and a brick there and whatnot. And as the balls roll across, you could enable these to have collision to where when they roll, it could create a little bump, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like physics would take over in that sense. Or just for visual aesthetic, we could just disable collision on those and they just roll smoothly across them without physics hitting them. So, with the level of detail, we can kind of pick and choose where we want that to happen, unless we want to be consistent. Where if we had a brick texture on this floor, it would obviously roll smooth and you would have a normal map to where it doesn't look flat. So having these separate elements as like a foliage piece that would jut out, like it's almost like dealing with a foliage element that doesn't affect anything physics, or it's not physics based or collision based. So I guess my question is, what level of detail do you see us having? If
I
something like
got you.
this is raised up, should it always kind of affect
I
the
I think it would be
the roll?
cool that every surface, if it has a different look, should have a different effect on how it rolls. That'd be my thought. Like if
Okay.
I instead of having 10 surfaces that look different and they all act the same, I feel like it should respond to different surfaces in different ways. So I think the
Okay.
physics should fall into play on all of the textures. That'd be my if we can do that, if that's feasible, that would be my preference. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I know it's probably it adds. I don't know. Does it add anything? Like, because it should handle it automatically, right? Or is a texture when you add a texture to a smooth surface? Does it create a? I feel like it does. It's not. I don't know. Like, does it create that
So
additional resistance to the physics engine, the movement?
I believe based off of whatever we want, like I think we can assign a special kind of amount of like drag or friction or whatever we want to a surface. Um, I think that's based off of the collider, I think. Or it might be a rigid body thing, but I believe that you can assign different attributes to surfaces. So, like, let's say you were to roll on a carpet, right? We
Mm-hmm.
assign a tag to a carpet material, and when they roll across it, we can slow down their movement or like increase their drag a little bit to where it's like they're not moving as smooth. And then if we wanted to create like let's say a little like bump in a carpet, we can enable that collision where they go over it. It would have like a little jump to it as well. I think we could do
That's
that though.
yeah.
Let me let my
That
cat
sounds
out.
great. I like that.
So then with castle floors, let's say it's brick, should it consistently be kind of rigid or not rigid, but kind of bumpy in general?
Probably. I don't know. I'm game with whatever makes sense to you guys.
We'll try both.
All right. I
That's where
mean,
the testing comes in. So
yeah, having it mix and match would be cool.
yeah, so We'll try that then. We'll try two different ones. We'll try just one with the texture and see how that rolls and looks and stuff like that. And then we'll also create one with like bricks that are sticking up and watch things kind of attempt to roll down.
I like it. Let's roll with it.
Nice. Attack. What do you think?
I think she went to sleep. I think she's muted her mic. What happened?
I muted my mic.
Ah, there we
I
go.
sure did.
Yeah.
No, I think with Vale's original question, like I think you have to set, if you make a texture a certain way, it wouldn't automatically like glide easier or not, you would have to set it that way. So, but yeah, I guess that would be like an environmental hazard. If there's like, a bumpy road, then that could cause them to roll slower or something like what Ludum's doing right now. He's
Yeah.
little bricks.
I think it would just be cool to have. Boy, I got echo in there. Somebody cranked up their speaker.
Echo.
Echo.
Oh.
Echo.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to just have it so that as you're watching it, that it feels really natural between different segments to where you're getting different interactions and different responses to the elements so that it's not just always smooth, I think that's my
Definitely.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Groove. We're gonna do.
If we were to create, say, like a prefab of like a set of bricks, like what I'm making now, is it possible? Well, I imagine it's possible. To like maybe have these procedurally placed in certain spots um, when the level is built. That way, like these pieces that cause that variation
Yes.
in movement, it's not always the same.
Oh, you wanna like try to get procedural with the objects and stuff within a track segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that would
Have it
be
dynamic.
something
It,
worth looking into?
I mean, we could certainly do it. It does add another layer of complexity. But it's possible. Certainly doable, but yeah, it would definitely add some complexity. We have to think through how I would approach that, because you'd basically have to have. You'd either have to have like, what the best way to do that would be, Ludum, if you wanted to randomize where they are, is put them as separate objects and have them all over the track, and then you just have the program turn off half of them at the start of the race. You know what I mean? Like it randomly selects, okay, we want this to have 10% of the track covered with this obstacle, so it hides 90% of them. Or we want to have this part of the track have 80% totally obstacles, so it hides 20% of them. So basically, you already have them all positioned, but as separate objects that I can throw into an array and have the computer randomly pick to turn on and off whichever ones. That's probably the best approach.
So smart. God, programmer logic and efficiency. I love that. Every time I watch you, I learn something like a new way of thinking. I love that. I appreciate that kind of thing. But do you think that's something we might want to try?
Definitely. I think it would be totally cool. Like you create whenever you're doing an area like you're doing right now, just go all the way across. But the problem is when you export it, you've got to export that as a separate object.
Like this piece right here, I have selected.
Each one would have to be individual. Like what you're doing right now, you don't need to do that. Are you in Blender or Unity?
Blender right now.
So what I would do is just export one of those pieces and put your material and whatever on it, and then import the one piece into Unity, and then do what you're doing right now where you're layering it in Unity. Just duplicate the object. You copy
So
and
have
duplicate it
one
in.
small brick.
Yep. And then you duplicate that in Unity on the object, and then you have the parent object is that piece of track, and then it has say 50 child objects, which is 50 bricks, and then I just drop those into an array and have the code pick. Okay, we want 20 of them to be active when the array starts, and it's random, so to randomly
Okay.
activate 20 of them and turn the other 30 off. I think that's the easy
Okay.
way to approach that. You only need one brick object. You don't have to. You could do what you're doing in Unity, but just by duplicating it.
Okay,
That'd be
so
my
then my next
suggestion.
question with that
Mm-hmm.
is the material of it, right? So you create one brick and you have 50 of them with the same material.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really good chance it would have um, like that tiling effect and become kind of visually monotonous.
No, because it's 50 separate
Um,
objects.
but they all share the same material.
Sure, but it won't tile as long as you would only need to position it to look right on one, and then it'll look the exact same on all the rest.
Okay, okay, like you were saying. Okay, yeah, okay. Because I guess what I could do, just to add some variation and probably make it a little more professional looking, I could go and just create a set of bricks and then
Okay,
just use that set and build it on a platform, right?
there
And
you
then
go.
all of those bricks would just be the child. So that way there's still some variation of the texture, the
Gotcha.
size, how they look,
So
etc.
you'd create, yeah, so you'd create one or two brick objects, export that to do your materials, create 2 to 4 materials, then bring those in as separate objects into Unity, do all your laying it out as duplicated and separate objects. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
Okay.
right. Sounds good. I like it.
All right, we can roll with that.
Ha
Attack, what do you think of
ha.
that?
I think we lost
That's
her
cool.
again.
No, I'm watching a YouTube video on how to do projections
Gotcha.
on in Substance Painter. That's I didn't want you guys to hear the video. Yeah, I think we've got a golden character ball. Boom.
Yay! Boom, look at that.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's black and gold are like the colors.
That's the standard, but we actually do like for
Ooh.
example, ooh,
Oh, was it?
that looks sweet. Um,
Let's
but there's
see.
actually several. Like you can do gold on black, gold on white. You could do white on black. You can do white on gold. I did that in
Okay, like
the
this.
yeah.
Like the
If you look at in our Slack channel,
mhm.
under there's a channel in our Slack server called streaming, and I
Oh,
actually put, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see a thing that is subscriber badges, and you can see the 6 different colors. That's only 6 though. That's the problem. But you can see the ones that I did for the subscriber badges for the channel,
Okay.
the different color combinations.
Cool. Why though did it add that? I don't know. It added this bit around it.
Attack.
What? What's up?
For future reference, whenever we are exporting FBXs from Blender, we need to make sure that it's always Z forward, Y up, and we apply the transformation in the FBX settings.
What?
Or else,
Okay, let me see. Where do I
like
go
if
to
you, yeah, so if you go to File,
file?
Export in
Hold on,
Blender.
hold on. File, export. Okay. FBX. Okay.
All right, FBX. All right, so now on the right where it says forward,
Forward.
yeah, we want
Or there.
Z
Oh.
forward.
Negative Z forward? No. Z forward.
Nope,
Okay.
just Z forward. Y up, right below it.
Y up. Okay.
And then the checkbox, 3 checkboxes down where it says apply transform, we want that checked on.
On. Okay. Let me write that down.
All right, so that is how we export as FBXs to Unity. That
Got
way, everything is imported upright, how we want it, not sideways.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You are welcome. If you have any questions on that, let me know.
Oh, I will. I will.
I'm going to regret saying that. All right, so Vale, the imports, like when I'm importing objects, where do you want those?
There's a folder that says imports.
Imports? Okay.
And then I created within that.
There's track elements, there's obstacles.
Yeah. So what are you creating? Like I would put
Right now, I'm just throwing in like brick elements to test out.
Sure. Okay. You can throw them wherever if you want to create a separate folder or put them in obstacles or or track elements. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how we're organizing it yet. So whatever
But
makes
imports
sense to
go
you.
into imports.
Yep. Everything you drop in goes into that imports, just to help keep things organized.
Okay. Got it.
Thanks. Cool. And then you can create whatever subfolders you want. Sweet.
Cool.
All right. So
Excuse me.
Can't figure out.
Whoa.
This is driving me nuts.
What are you working on, Bale?
So the follow cam stuff, the Cinemachine, which I want to use. Basically, I've got 2 cameras on every player. One set up as a follow and one that's out ahead looking back. So you can see, chase cam. But the Cinemachine thing doesn't offer the ability to, at least that I've found, the ability to render to a render texture, which is the approach I was going to take and create this UI with render textures so that basically each of these sections on this UI screen would be rendering a camera directly, and then the middle one would just be doing our broadcast one. In theory, that should all work, and with the old camera system, I know how to do it. But with this, I'm trying to figure out how to get this Cinemachine camera to do what I want to do, so that I can get that to work and show up in these spaces here.
I've always hated working with cameras.
Well, this Cinemachine is going to be sweet. It's going to do a lot of what we want to do, and I already kind of thought through how to create a script to determine like what I want to do is have every camera determine how many players are in its camera shot, and we can have track cameras that are positioned, so you have the two cameras for every player, plus you have a positioned camera at every interesting point along the track, and the cameras are all calculating how many player objects are in the shot, and prioritizing based on that, and basic like we could put track ones a slightly higher priority than a player one. We can also, that type of thing, so that it basically instantaneously it's constantly calculating which shot has sort of the most action in it, and that'll just automatically switch to that camera. The only thing I'll have to do is build in like a delay, so it's not like switching every half a second, because that could be
Wow, it
a
sounds so
little
intricate.
jarring. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be
It's
cool.
awesome though.
It's gonna be cool.
Hell yeah, it is. That's gonna be
Yeah.
really neat. Being able to like, the idea of it, kind of observing how many player objects are in the scene. That seems like so crazy, but it's awesome though.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be so cool because it'll help determine, where the action is. Um, Man, I just don't know how to send a Cinemachine camera to a texture. And I sure hope it's possible. It's going to suck if they don't have that ability. The old camera does. Why wouldn't a Cinemachine camera is basically the same thing? It just has more features. So why would it have less? I don't know if that makes sense.
Uh,
Hmm.
Right over there.
yeah. Oh man,
Output
No.
channel is channel 1.
it's not working. Why does it look like crap?
Okay, output channel functions like unity layers. To
Brush.
filter the output to different cinema brains.
Hmm.
For instance, in a multi-screen environment. Yes,
Types.
perfect. All right, I feel like that's what we want.
Hmm.
Channel 1. So how then do I create a texture to show channel 1? That's what we need to do on the UI.
Why is this not working? Maybe because
There we
it's
go.
not white, black and white. An alpha has to be black and white.
Yes.
Well,
Well, I think you can like gradients work too.
I mean, look at
So it's not
like I added the logo as an alpha,
Mhm.
and under alpha, I dragged it in, right? But it's just it's like a square. Like it doesn't matter what color I choose, but it's just like a square. Hmm. I've made alphas before.
in Photoshop. Remember how to take the alpha, or like the select it and then create the alpha channel? Did you do that?
No.
That might be
So
why.
the channel.
Yeah, so you select the character design, right? Like the
RGB.
cutout.
Oh wait, now this isn't letting me click on it. Oh, wait. There's red,
No,
green,
like
blue. Huh?
right. So go to your normal layer, like your layers,
Okay.
um, and then select
To merge it.
the character design.
Hold on a second. Can I? Oh, but now it Hold on a sec. Sorry. Let me.
Very good.
Okay. Sorry. What was that?
Okay, so you select the character design,
Okay.
not the whole thing, but just, and then you copy it.
Okay.
Well, no, because you have the square, right? It like you want
Oh, you mean the magic
print of
wand?
the,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
mean like? Okay, got it. Like that. Okay. Control C. Okay.
and then go to the channels tab.
Why is there a selection around the entire thing? That's kind of weird. Okay. Channels tab.
And then paste. Does that work?
Nope.
What
Oh,
was it?
wait. Control C. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna have to go to Photoshop and look. But
It's
there's a way
okay.
because like you have to take that.
I'm sorry.
That's how you
What?
create the alpha. That's probably why it's creating the square.
Mm. Okay. Even though I saved it as a like it's a PNG.
Yeah, I think even so, I think you still have to have the alpha channel be just the shape you want it to be. Because
Okay.
without that, the alpha channel should just be the square.
Okay.
Watching a video here. Yeah, so that's how they do it. Oh. Selection channel.
Dang.
Here. I'm sending you a link via Discord.
Well, thank you. Thank you kindly.
There you go.
Ooh.
So
Stretch,
awesome that you
hydrate.
have stretch and hydrate.
Ooh. Oh, that was you, Ludum, that did that?
It sure was.
That's pretty funny. Good stuff.
Just because I'm part of the stream doesn't mean that I don't care about our well-being.
Well, I think that's great.
Oh, hot stuff! Hot stuff?
I mean, ultimately, that's why I went back into being involved in Twitch communities. It's just to make people drink water.
That's awesome.
Every stream I follow, I originally just started following them just to make them drink water.
And it worked unintentionally, like really well in his favor, because everyone, anytime he would go into the stream, or he would go into the stream and not say anything, so people didn't originally know he was in there. But as soon as he hydrated, it's like, oh, Ludum's here. He's hydrating everybody. Yep. So it's
and not
like,
say a word.
it's funny.
Oh.
In fact, there were some streamers that would get kind of creeped out and they would stop drinking water because it's like okay, it's weird that you're just hanging out in here not saying anything and you make me drink water. I'm not gonna drink water anymore.
Uh,
You know, I was like, oh, that's understandable though. You know, like one streamer was like calling me like a creep. It's like, oh, you just like to watch me drink water. I was like, oh, that kind of hurt, but I get where you're coming from. So I started talking. I'm like, hi, I'm not a weirdo. I'm just a lurker hanging out. I enjoy your stream. I
That's
didn't mean
funny.
to creep you out or anything. And she's like, oh, okay, well, now that I know you're not a creep or whatnot, cheers. I was like, all right, cool. And then I stopped talking again. And then from then on, every time she's like, oh, all right, Ludum's here.
You had to assure her you weren't just
I'm
getting
like,
footage for like a fetish
that's
uh,
that's
yep,
pretty.
website or something.
exactly.
That's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah.
which is fair.
Yeah,
Totally fair. Yeah,
never
you know.
know.
It's
Yep.
yeah.
That's not so good.
All right.
But it's my jam, getting people to drink water and stay hydrated. Someone's got to look out for us, you know?
There you go.
I'm surely not going to look after myself, so thank you.
Always appreciated. Always appreciated. For sure. For sure. All right. You know what? I have not done today at all because I'm still trying to get everything integrated into my new system. So, for everybody who's hanging out here and for all of our recent subscribers, I just want to throw this out, dedicate this to you.
Welcome to the party, pal.
There you go. You guys probably couldn't hear that, huh?
No, we
Oh,
couldn't.
I did.
No.
I did the
welcome
No.
to the party,
Why would you tease
pal.
us like that?
I mean, I saw his mouth moves. I could tell what he was saying, so
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Um,
There was no audio.
well, there was audio, but you guys are listening to me through where you only hear my mic, you don't hear my desktop.
Mm-hmm.
That's the downside to this setup. Just like I can't hear your guys' desktop, I can only hear your mics. We had a special situation with Travis because we had him doing a full on screen share, legit with audio and all that. We had a different setup. So
So there.
we got to
Yeah.
hear his music a little bit as he was getting that put together.
That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
All right, it is 9 o'clock. I think I'm gonna call it.
All right. All right. All right.
Oh my god, it's 9 o'clock.
Getting there.
Yeah.
I know that hour went by faster than the hour and a half.
Right.
Crazy.
Man,
It is
the
crazy.
heck, dude? Yeah, it is about that time, I suppose.
I'm gonna figure
Yeah.
this out though, but
Yeah.
yep.
All right. Well, how do you guys feel about our first night doing this?
Good. Good. We really just
Pretty
jumped
good.
on in.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm about
I'm
to start
excited.
getting into animating.
Hoping things come together. Animating. What are you gonna animate?
Well, because, like, I don't know Unity that well, so I'm also, like, kind of having fun playing around.
Okay.
But, like, I'm kind of familiar with, like, the animation or the animator element. So I'm just kind of playing around creating this animation where this wall moves up and down, and
Nice.
then, like,
Moving
some balls
obstacles.
can, like, go over
Okay.
it, and then some hit it and drop down.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I don't know
Okay.
exactly
Cool.
how you had planned on doing animations and
Oh.
obstacles, but I suppose the more that we know how to do stuff, the better.
Sure.
It worked
It's
that time.
it's pretty easy. If you need to do a walkthrough on animations, I'm happy to do that with you, Ludum. Show you the Unity
Okay.
animation system. It's it's tricky to learn, but once you understand it, it's pretty simple.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I imagine it is. I've done it a little bit because their animation tool here works just like Unreal's in a way.
okay, cool.
So it's like almost creating like a sequence inside the level. Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. The
at
main
least
trick.
that's what it seems like.
Yeah, the main trick is the parenting. You have to attach the animator to the either the object you're directly animating or to a parent of the object you're animating. And then it's pretty easy once you've done that. So yeah, if you get stuck or you have any questions, just holler. I'm happy to help you out.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course.
I don't remember. There's certain parts I don't really remember, but trying to get back into it.
Awesome. It's looking cool. I love the designed marble there. That's so cool.
Getting there.
And yeah,
And
I'm
then now we
excited.
have sizing too. We have approximate
Cool.
sizing in Blender.
Nice.
Sweet. So next week we'll start putting this together, these elements together, and see if our follow cam will put the player objects that we've got there from Attack Dawn with the track elements that you're working on, Ludum, with the follow camera system that I'm getting set up, and we'll see if these pieces come together and where to take it from there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks,
It was
guys.
Yeah,
fun.
these bricks are making.
Thank you everyone
you
for
know,
watching.
making them
Yeah,
jump.
thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, everybody.
So much. Appreciate your support for sure. And can't wait until we hit it again. You know, don't forget tomorrow night we've got a special guest to show his work. If you can, join us for that. Have a wonderful night. Everybody get your rest and take care. Thanks, guys.
You guys too. Have a
Bye,
good night.
everybody.
Talk to you later.
Thank
Bye,
you all.
everyone.
Take care. All right.
Should have done a
Well,
raid.
I don't think I'm gonna. Oh yeah, huh? Dang. You still
Raid.
can actually.
Yeah, I haven't exited.
Yeah.
Let me.
Even if you're not streaming, you just type /raid. You can
Really?
still raid someone.
That's interesting.
You don't even
Oh
have
my
to be
God.
live.
Of course, everybody's signed off though.
Yeah. It says you have 9 viewers. Boom. Rated.
Oh, who'd you raid?
Sweet. This is Solomon Gumball TV. He is creating a super cool
Yo, what's
setup
up, Golden?
himself.
Thank you for the raid again.
Nice.
You're way too nice. Howdy, how is everyone?